Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
It's a bit like that.
The Sound of Silence, the name of that song.
It's like that.
And that's exactly what my fantasy team is at the moment. Silent.
The good thing is everyone is in the same boat.
Everyone, we've had a few sent through that got 8 surfers left, which is surprising to all.
They are the outliers, though. There's a lot of 3s, 4s. At the time of recording, we're only round 3.
Midway through.
I think we've only surfed 2 heats of round 3.
Yep. 2 or 3. Yep.
And then on the women's, I don't even believe they've started round 3.
No. Well, they've done their round 1.
So
and then straight into round 2, which they haven't done yet.
I have 3 surfers left.
I have 4.
And we're not even halfway through the event.
To be fair, I'd lost half my team before, like at the conclusion of round 1, I believe, or even like the men's and ladies round 1 gone.
Definition of a bloodbath.
Crazy.
That was like the beach of Gallipoli. Just
bro,
bam.
It just absolutely cooked me. I tried a couple of picks that, in hindsight, like the way that this event has trended, I arguably should have done well. I went Vaheen Fiera and Alyssa Spencer. Like the people who've made it through, those guys probably should have. But no cigar there. I lost those 2. I lost TSC's a write-off pretty much across the board.
Yep.
It's not even really.
I don't think anyone's doing well there.
It's not really even worth picking. And then on the men's side, bloodbath, just absolutely cooked. So I think I've got Kanoa, I've got Al Cleland, I've got Gabby Bryan, Power Surfer, and I've got Molly Picklum.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Terrible for your standard.
Yeah.
I just hate to see someone's betting account and what they've told their missus where that money went to.
Yeah. Thankfully, I haven't really touched this event, which has been good because I would have lost a hell of a lot of money, I reckon.
I feel like it would have just decimated bank statements across the planet.
Man, it just, every result, like we joked that Al might beat Griffin. It actually happened. And then Philippe, I thought Philippe was a little bit more vulnerable to getting beaten. Cowley's no slouch in chunky right hand point break conditions, and he did exactly what I hoped he wouldn't do to my fantasy team, which was take out my ×2 on the men's side. Who else will lose? Ethan, Cal. We'll save Ethan. There's a bit to talk about there.
We'll save all that.
Yeah.
We'll come back to El Salvador and the bloodbath that it's been.
Yes, we will. We'll revisit that. Unfortunately.
Can you brighten the mood with some noises? Yeah, fuck yeah, we're back. Welcome to the Lago Podcast. We heard that everyone likes foghorns, so there will be another episode of...
And guess what else we just found?
Oh, God.
Monster voice.
So yeah, that's been getting a workout today. We actually didn't realize that the sound effects had a second page, which is just full of
like all sorts of voices. We've got high pitch,
megaphone,
Monster.
We'll be probably not touching those, but it's good to know they're there.
It's going to be a dangerous couple of weeks for the Lago Podcast. This could get skew-whiff very quickly.
Yeah, we had Zach sitting in the chair with the headphones on before. If you're watching as well, you'd notice I won the war on the headphones. I've got them on currently. Zach was sitting in my chair for about 10 minutes just talking all kinds of rot, most of which wouldn't be able to be on this podcast. But yeah, it was pretty comical, but it's good. It's nice. It's actually funny when you take the headphones off. Real life sounds weird.
Yeah, it almost sounds a bit bland and boring, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just watch that coffee, mate. That's,
I could probably spill this all over our brand new equipment, which wouldn't be good. But let's talk about merch. Merch went off. It was here and gone pretty quickly if you wanted a black hoodie.
Yeah, look, first of all, thank you to everyone, not only who bought merch, because obviously we understand not everyone wants to shell out to $2 bums on a podcast, which is fine. Like, we're just more than happy that people listen to us. Like, that's the biggest thing. But to everyone that did support us with the merch as well, it means a world to us. It's meant that we've been able to refill the kitty a little bit and allow us to up our content game. We don't touch any of that money. None of that really goes into our pocket. It just gets put straight back into, we'll call it the business.
There's a small spike in the P&L. Our bookie's very happy.
For now.
It's red. It's definitely red.
Still
but
red.
It is a small spike on a very long graph.
Are
So,
you
happy days.
You familiar with Benny Scarf, who's does the horse punting on Instagram, and he does like punting every day?
No. Oh, yeah, he walks in, talks to Sheila behind the glass or something, goes,
Yeah.
righto, I want something. Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
it was like him. Like he recently, it was like 100K in the red, and then he recently just broke profit again after just one of the all-time battles, and then he's put
A
himself.
horse with 3 legs won. He had $100 on the nose.
No, it was just like just gradually got himself back out, and then he's put himself back down. Like after being 100K in the bin, maybe take your wins when you get out, but
Pull out at 200.
sure. Well, that seems to be what he's doing. But that was us. We briefly got back out, and then we'll be shelling this into some more content or product, or not products, but items that we need for the pod. So
Like this big, beautiful, fancy beast.
Exactly
We've got
right.
the Roadcaster Pro.
yeah,
Absolute weapon of a bit of kit. But yeah, we'll be reinvesting. But yeah, big shout out to everyone who did go on and buy some merch. 40 orders in the first, couple hours.
yeah, it's pretty hectic. It's nice. It's pretty cool. Like launching it, and you're just sitting there, and you're just like, oh, and then all of a sudden
There was no sitting there. I believe it was like 6:01.
yeah,
Order.
it was like
Squarespace. Bing, bing.
yeah, it was like a minute, but obviously like you're launching like, oh no, where are they? But it's like they actually have to like go and fill out the details. It's not going to be automatic, and then there was a few really quickly, which is cool. So again,
Big shout out to the crew who went full kit and caboodle as well. Went hat, hoodie, shirt. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, as Zach said, black hoodies gone, exhausted, quantity exhausted very quickly. Still some cream sitting there, and still tees and hats.
Caps are getting like slowly picked off though. I
Yeah.
don't foresee them staying around for too long. Also, big shout out to Mitch from Made by Plasma. Would not be sitting here talking about this if Mitch didn't come on and help us out and jump on as our official merch sponsor of the Largo podcast.
Yeah.
He's also whipped us up a few Christmas presents. Christmas in July, even though it's June. Absolute legend of a bloke for getting behind us. It's for surfers, made by surfers, designed by surfers. It's all within the industry. So yeah, it's incredible that he's gotten behind us.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks again, Mitchie, and thanks again to everyone that just tunes in as well. We love you all. Now you'll be noticing again if you're watching. I've been able to unwrap me Titans jersey for the first time since I bought it.
There is a lot of dust on it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I only bought this a couple weeks ago, hoping that the jersey was going to spark some kind of miraculous turnaround of the Gold Coast Titans season, which is the team that I painfully support. Got a win on the weekend, so if you're wondering why I'm not wearing the merch, that's why. I've got my Titans jersey on because I wanted to show a bit of love to my main man, Keanu Kinney, who sealed it for us at the death there. So
Dare say that won't be on next week's episode.
no, mate, that might be the start of things to come. We don't know, probably not, but hey,
Should we talk surf?
let's talk some surfing. Actually, you know what? Let's let someone else talk some surfing first. We got Chris Cote on the blower. Well, not really. He sent us a voice recording. He's on the ground there in El Salvador, and he gave us a bit of an update of what's been happening. So we'll chuck that in here now, and we'll see you in about 4 minutes.
Enjoy the golden tonsils of Chris Cote.
What's up, Lago boys? Chris Cote here, boots on the ground at Punta Roca in El Salvador. Here's what's up. It's 7:45 p.m. Salvadorian time, and I have no idea what day or time it is in Australia, so bear with me. We just finished the third day in a row at the Surf City El Salvador Pro, presented by Cronacero. And this event has been really fun, really wild. First day was huge, and that's where we started to see lower seeds taking out bigger seeds, David versus Goliath, underdog stories, however you want to kind of name it. But to see big names like Griffin Colapinto, Felipe Toledo out of this event, it's a bummer, but at the same time, it's also pretty exciting because I, for one, love seeing shakeups, and I love seeing new names in these rounds. It's like, on the men's tour, the 4-headed monster from Brazil, which is now a 6-8-headed monster. They've just been running away with everything, and I'm down for it. Like I want to see Gabriel Medina win an event. I love seeing Italo go crazy, but at the same time, it's like really fun to potentially have a random brand new winner of this event. And I think that El Salvador, this stop, is so important for the rest of the season for these surfers. And I can pinpoint when that kind of really came true. Was last year, Griffin Colapinto watched the post show where basically Strider and I were talking about how much of a bummer it would be if Griffin went from Final 5 to falling off tour, because that's what it was looking like. Griffin actually watched it, heard it, went to the gym, exercised his demons, came back, and just annihilated the rest of the year. So this, to me, this stop, after kind of the strange start and then the event of the decade and then New Zealand, which was cool but pretty quiet, this stop has become super important, I think, emotionally for surfers, because if you can come from the bottom of the rankings, get a big result in El Salvador, you put yourself in a position to at least have a chance. If you lose out early here, it's got to feel like the rest of the year is going to be rough. So I feel like El Salvador is underrated for how important it is for these title campaigns. And, if you want to ask me about specific surfers, Gabriel Medina, his energy and like being around him, not just seeing him on the webcast, but being around him. I'm actually surprised he hasn't won at 3 events already. Like, he is just chill. He's happy. He's engaging. He used to be so intimidating at these contest sites. Like, oh gosh, here comes Gabriel. Like, I'm 49 years old, and I've been intimidated by this, young Brazilian guy, and now he's just like, he's a bro. So that is going to be a fun story to watch, because I think that he's just freed up. There's no pressures from sponsor, any of that stuff. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins 3 or 4 events throughout the rest of the year, including this one. On the women's side, like, the Carissa story, of course, the shock and awe to see Stephanie Gilmore out. We're seeing Anat Lelior like kind of becoming that underdog story. And it's been cool because it's just been so rapid fire. It's almost hard to digest all that's happened. And I'm probably rambling way too long, but I appreciate you guys. Appreciate what you do. The Lago podcast rules. All right. Send me a hoodie.
And we're back from El Salvador.
Chris took us on an audio journey to
Audio journey.
the glorious
to,
glorious rocky beaches of
Punta Roca.
Yes, that's the one.
You started with a la there.
Well, I think it's La Libertad, isn't it? That's the
yes.
province or whatever, but we'll run with that.
Sure. Very interesting takes there.
Couple.
Yes, he's. I like that he said, everyone loves to see, the favorites do really well, but it's also an opportunity when they do all get shot down that the underdogs rise to the occasion. So very good chance that we're going to see an unlikely winner. I don't want to say like in a bad way, but with the year that the Brazilians have had, one would think you'd put the house on it that they're going to win. Maybe not.
Well, mate, you say that. There's still 2 I'd say 2, there's 3. We've got Italo Ferreira, we've got Gabriel Medina, and we've got Sammy Pupo still hot and heavy in the draw. So let's not.
One of them's a wounded gull, though.
Well, here's a wounded gull, but the other 2 are just in firing form. And also, as they say, beware of the wounded dog.
That sums him up really well.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a stanky leg going on, but he's still running pretty fast.
Yeah. So 8 stitches in the knee, as you probably heard about.
Longboarder at another wave. Yep.
Not a small, like obviously 8 stitches, you'd assume it's not, but like quite a significant gash in his leg. Must have been hitting him going pretty fast, you'd think.
Longboarders' fins usually, like it's a big single fin at the back. It's like a big blade, so he might have got off lucky.
True.
Lucky there's no break, especially hitting the knee bone, the patella, like the top of it. like a pretty big surface area that's somewhat flat. So if you do get like a blunt force there, it's pretty prone to breaking.
And this could be dumb as well, but like, I don't know, obviously fair few crucial ligaments in the knee. I don't know whether a cut to the knee could sever one of those, or I don't know. So that's another thing.
There's a fair bit going on there. I'm a meniscus expert. If anyone needs free consultation, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 3 surgeries on both knees. Well, 2 in one and 1 in the other. So anyone wants some free and confidential advice, let me know.
Yep. Should we go through some results?
Do we have to? I fucking don't want to.
We probably should.
Can we just start off by saying, grill me in the comments, don't care. No skill in picking fantasy. It's done.
Well, the people that are doing well would argue differently, Zach.
Nah, it's a piss take. You might as well read the chart upside down and make your picks off that.
The thing is, eventually you're going to have an
Go
event.
from 34 up.
Well, you're going to have an event like this. Like, you can continue to pick the favourites at each event, but there's going to be an event eventually where...
Oh, but not in this potency where they just go down like flies.
Well, man...
I get it, 1 and 2s and whatnot, but you would have to say 80% of the picks have been wrong by the vast majority.
I'd say, yeah.
Except for the grandmothers of these people winning.
I'd say maybe not 80%, but I'd say over half of the regular people you'd expect to go well here have not done well.
I'm going to stick with 80 because everyone who follows us on socials will see that I've been posting a selfie for the first 2 days of the event, advising everyone not to perhaps open their phone if they want to enjoy their day.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe keep off it for the day because obviously we have a lot riding on the fantasy side of things. There's obviously challenges for each other. So I went on there and fucking bam, done.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't nice. And I was angry at first and then remembered you put your ×2 on Tia Zabrowski and it made me very happy again because I lost Philippe and I just went, oh no, there's me going Philippe being my ×2. And then I went, Zach would have Gabby as ×2. And then someone informed me that actually wasn't the case. You had Tia, and I went beautiful. So we're back on. There's still a challenge. Like, I think you've got Leo as your power surfer.
Yeah,
he's looking good, man. So I'm not counting me chickens yet, even though I've got that extra surfer. But let's run through some results. So round one. Can't remember who we picked off the top of our head, but we'll go through it. I imagine so. Heat 1, Ramsey Bookham beat Maddie McGillivray ripping. I think we would have picked Maddie in that one.
We picked Maddie,
so we were wrong there. Heat 2, Luke Thompson beat Melvin.
How good is this? He won a different competition. He won the name competition. Melvin.
Well, without checking the history books, I imagine probably the first Melvin ever in a WSL CT event.
Such a great name.
Yep. So Melvin Ayala.
Sure. Sure.
He look, man, local wild card. Can't expect the world of these people. They're not professional surfers.
He exceeded my expectations.
He looked decent. Like in the event, didn't go overly well, but you could see he had a bit about him. So good showing there for Melvin. Luke, soon probably a bit naughty of me. Maybe should have posted something. But as soon as I saw that was the wild, because remember last week it was Luke Thompson versus event seed 36.
Blue.
When I saw that he had the local wild card, that wasn't Brian Perez. I just went, I probably should put like it's a walkthrough. It is really.
It quickly became evident that Melvin, God love him, great soul, probably a Kiwi warrior. I don't even think he's on the Challenger Series.
He was Zhao Chenga's board caddy for the last 3 seasons.
What, like the Rising Tides?
Yeah, whatever. Zhao
He's not in Rising Tides.
No,
really.
Zhao employed him to do his board caddying throughout the event. So for him
This event?
No, for the last 3.
Event.
And then he's actually got himself into the CT. So good on him. But
wait, he's been going to all the other stops.
No. He just went to when they come to El Salvador. But
oh fuck, I got you. I was like, what the fuck? Was there no one else to surf?
Yeah, he got the world ticket with Zhao. No, he's look. It's a pretty cool story. It's like imagine like golf where you're someone's caddy and then you find yourself in like a major event somewhere.
Yeah,
pretty sick. So good on him. Great. Like didn't disappoint. I think he lost no. I mean, I don't know how many fans he had, but he didn't lose any, that's for sure.
No, he exceeded expectation. What I will say, style looked really nice. The flow was really good. Wave selection pretty good as well. Just lacked
polish.
No, it lacked a bit of back foot, if you ask me. Kind of looked like he was just getting to the end of the wave and everything blended into one.
Yeah, but I think a few falls there didn't help him.
Of course.
The issue is Luke's just comparatively such a classy surfer. It was going to take an absolute mammoth effort to get past him. And usually when you see these lesser known local wildcards, sometimes you get someone like a Brian Perez who can put up a bit of a fight, but at this level, usually it's just it's a death sentence for those guys. So I did slide Luke into my team. Then heat 3, Brian Perez gets dusted by the man.
I apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
Zach hates apologizing, and he probably does owe Eli Hanneman one.
No, I lied. I think I apologized to Nadia Aristabe already. Bit of a theme here with me is credit where credit due. That one is, I'm going to stick by this one. I think this is just a little bit of a lucky break.
Okay. I thought he looked outstanding, to be honest. I thought his boards looked really good. He does look small, but there's nothing he can do about that. And I think in some cases it might help him, given how much bigger the waves look than him. It's 13.66 heat title. This isn't even his best heat. We'll get to that one. We'll progress quickly on to heat 4, though. Seth Moniz beats our guy, Oscar Berry.
We're going to need a welfare check.
He had the highest score of the heat as well. And it just, he clicked on I think it was his last wave was the score he got it on. It was. So on his last wave, he clicked and he looked so bloody good. And it just, we said last time he's lost every wave that you can lose. I think he's definitely has now. This was like another variation of that. And he's going to get it soon. And I think, I've been saying this every event, but next event's Rio. It does suit him. It's a wave that suits Oscar, especially if he's going to come up against, I think anyone in this round right now that I'm looking at, obviously these surfers will change heading into the next event, but I've got him over any of those guys, probably on par with Lukey T in those conditions. So
I feel like he's got everyone in every condition. It just needs to click. I believe, and we'll get him on the pod when he's back in Oz, but I think it might be a bit of a confidence thing now. The surfing's there. In that heat against Seth, he looked bigger and better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The magnitude of turns between Seth and Oscar was definitely tipped towards Oscar. Just looks like there's confidence there, and those little like slips and trips and falls, they're little confidence things to me where he's like, oh, just don't fall, just don't fall. What happens when you're thinking, just don't fall?
You fall.
You'll fall. I think he just needs a little bit of a lucky break like his good friend Cal, and then we could see a pretty lethal run.
Yeah. All right, ladies, round 1. Vaheen Fierro gets defeated by Sally Fitz. You actually said Sally would win that one.
I did.
Fair play to you.
Regrettably, but yeah, I was right.
It was bloody, again, another close one. It's like, we're kind of topping out there for Sally, 9.87 heat total. That's kind of what you expect from her. Vaheen has so much in the tank, just didn't really get to show it. Heat 2, Erin Brooks. Now, a lot of people going, what's happening with Erin Brooks? Full forgive event here for her. She was on an IV, I believe, in the week leading up to it. She was very ill. So
bit of a theme for Al Sal, unfortunately. Was it Jacko who was telling us that?
Yeah, I think it was.
Jacko
or Connor even.
Connor, one of the I think it was both of them.
Yeah.
Something like that. They were pretty much squirting out the eye of a needle.
Yeah. So Erin, no good in that one. Yolanda pretty well gets a walkthrough. She kind of needs it at this stage, especially at this wave, I think.
I will just say though, that wave was heavily tipped towards Yolanda's strengths. Big, lumpy, unforgiving kind of walls with a bit of chatter. Fuck, I was, kind of tipping Yolanda anyway. I didn't want to, but I did, and there you go.
Yeah, no.
Would have been a hard heat for Erin in full health as well.
Nadia Aristabe defeats Francisca Vaselko. A very tough one to pick there. Could have really gone either way. They both had middling scores, but Nadia gets a nod there. Tyler Wright does in your power surfer, Tia Zabrowski, which I don't think anyone saw coming.
I don't even know why I fucking did that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, could have come off. I thought that's a really good round 1 matchup for Tia. I thought she probably would walk over Tyler, to be honest. Probably didn't help your cause that she lost by 0.1 as well. Never ideal.
There was some screaming at the laptop. We won't go there.
Someone else who would have been screaming at the laptop was Steph Gilmore after this heat, and Nat Lelior defeats her on a right-hand point, which no one would have picked. Definitely not myself. And Nat, her backhand is her strength, which is obviously going to come into consideration here. But Steph's actually won this event before, and you kind of just expect her to not walk through, but you expect her to get through this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to cast my memory back to last week. I believe I picked Steph just due to where things were going to land in the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little inkling that Anat might get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really whoever it was Steph was going to verse. I'm just a little concerned that Steph has lost what we're all kind of remember her to be.
Well, look, if you
Everyone
look,
goes, yeah, look, she won Snapper. Not convincingly.
if you look at her year, we've got the recurring trend here is not good results, put it that way. She's gone both extremes. She's got 3 17th places, which is a dead last, and then she's got 1 9th place, which is make 1 heat, and then she's got a win. So it's kind of like last or first for her, which on the girls' side is not enough. If she continues to do this, which the next 3 events for her are not good.
I reckon she's going to sub out of Brazil almost.
She's got Rio, she's got Tahiti, and then Fiji Pro. I expect her to lose before the second round I think she might make a second round heat. Each of those events, I reckon she'll be gone, but before the third round. So could get pretty desperate for her in the back end of the year.
I'm going to have to agree with you there.
There's no evidence that she can perform well. I mean, Rio, she's probably had results over the years, but that was when the tour was lesser quality. The tour is a lot better now for these girls, and you can't afford to be complacent anymore.
There's no way she's sitting on that plane going, oh, yay, I'm in Rio for the 50th time.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon she's going ticking a box.
Yeah. Heat 6, the Battle of the Bellas. We had Izzy Nichols.
This was tough.
Bella
I
Kenworthy.
did not see this one. I reckon that was, if I was a betting man, I would have been throwing a pineapple on the nose of Bella Nichols.
Yeah. I think if we check the tapes, I raised that Bella had surfed well here before, and she did that. I thought Isabella the form surfer out of the 2, but I remember seeing some footage of her, and she looked really good in maybe last year or whatever year she surfed here. She looked really decent, never going excellent or anything, but just looked solid, as good as I'd seen. If we pull up her career event stats, so she's had 2 event appearances, average heat score of 12, so like not terrible. She put up her best score is like 15.67, so like clearly can surf here. She does beat Izzy. The conditions not really favouring the surfing of Izzy. It's kind of like levels the playing field out a lot there, I
Did
feel.
it favour anyone?
Well, I don't think that's probably what sums up the just absolute whitewash of favourites throughout this event. But yeah, look, I don't think it necessarily favours anyone, but I think it probably levels out. It becomes more of a luck factor than anything, and Izzy suffers the first round loss there of the Nichols variety, not the Kenworthy variety. Heat 7, Alyssa Spencer, Brissa Hennessy. Now, this was the best heat of the round, and the 2 best surfers ended up in the
Close.
same heat, which is a shame.
That was a close one.
Yep. Brissa Hennessy did look incredible, to be honest. 15 points. I think the next best was Alyssa in this heat, who had 12.93, courtesy of a 7 and a 5.93, but it was an 8.5 of Brissa that kind of separated her in this one. Just looked stronger. She looked like she was surfing the waves normally. A lot of girls having to nurse their turns and pick where they hit the lip. Brissa was just going straight through it.
I think it's a stature too.
Mm.
Quite small and stocky.
Yep.
And when it is a bit more punchy and there was definitely some lumps to negotiate, can kind of just push through them a little nicer.
Yep.
A lot of these girls ladies are sub 65 kegs.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, when it's 6 foot and a little bit lumpy, that's tough.
Yep.
That's tough going for sure.
100%.
So I kind of, did we tip Brisa? I'm pretty sure we did or we didn't.
No, I think we might have tipped Alyssa, but stated that this heat might be close.
I remember saying that like it's a almost home country. So
Yeah. I actually was feeling pretty happy with myself. The only real bet I placed in this event, I threw $15 on Brissa Hennessy to win the event, paying 70 to 1.
holy
And when she
fucking
came
Jesus.
out, she came out in round 1 and put up 15 points. I went, here we go. This could be it.
I'll tell you how that's going to end.
Yeah,
it's going to end with shit in the bed too quickly, and I dare say you're not getting your payout.
It's already ended. We'll get to that.
Duh.
Heat 8, Caroline Marks, Kira Pinkerton. Caroline, probably just a little bit of extra experience here. Kira looked amazing in those free surfs. You might have seen the video we posted on Instagram. She looked incredible. But Caroline, the only person who's won this event multiple times across both draws, so clearly knows what she's doing out here, and she gets through that one, although the fashion of which I don't love. I don't foresee her winning this year. She's not looking overly good. Let's get back into the men's bracket round.
Let's do a noise. The blue one. Men's round.
Men's round 2. Or shit. Yeah, let's go men's round 2. This is where the carnage kind of started early on, but then this is where it got really bad. So Lobby absolutely smoked his first heat, a heat which we thought would be close regardless. Jake Marshall surfing unbelievably on right points in recent memory. Lobby the same though, and just murdered him really. 14.93 to 13.1. He nearly murdered himself.
I was going to say he paid for it though.
Yeah, that elevator drop into horizontal knee / leg wasn't great for him.
That was the definition of a sandwich press.
Mm.
You open the lid, you squish your sandwich until the cheese comes fucking squirting out the sides. That was Lobby.
Yeah, Lobby.
Throw and all.
He got jaffled. Heat 2. Here we go. Let's get into it.
Oh God, do we have to?
Ethan Ewing.
There's a little bit of solace in this. I frequently listen to other podcasts just to see if we sound like absolute spoons, which we do. Happy to be the spoons.
Yeah.
Quite useful tools. We weren't the only one here. I did recall on the Drop Stabs podcast that Stace heavily picked Ethan as well.
That's good.
Same as Mikey C. So
Good to know.
we weren't outliers in which we picked Ethan, but man, oh man, I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Nothing against Cal, but this wave just seemed so good to Ethan. And, well, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, and I think it's important to look at the conditions at hand. So on the surface, this wave looks incredible. It looks like a perfect right-hand point, but it's not until you kind of watch it for a bit and you realize it's actually quite difficult to surf.
It's like a bit of a polished nugget.
Yeah, there's sections to it, and it really rewards the surfers who, on point breaks usually, i.e. Snapper Rocks, Lennox Point, J-Bay, all those ones, you kind of, your best turns are coming on sections where you're coming from behind a section with speed, you're going up in the lip, and you're carving back down or doing a turn in a really critical point. And whereas on this wave, that is the case, you almost don't want to be coming from behind the whitewash because any chance you get to do so, it kind of throws an extra section at you that you weren't accounting for, and you end up just spending a little bit too long behind there, getting caught behind. This wave seems to reward the surfers who, if you look at past results, Griffin, Philippe, they're really good at just getting out in front of it, and they can do that type of surfing, those Snapper Rocks, JBS type of surfing when required, but they've also got that capability to get out in front of it and surf, not down, you wouldn't say down the line because they're still doing really critical turns in some of the hardest sections, but you'll notice a lot of people like coming up and then rather than doing a turn, they're almost doing like a high line and then trying to pump down and generate speed past next section and then get up into it. Griffin and Philippe in that usually, not this event clearly, but usually they're actually into that next section before they're either doing a floater or they're doing an air or they're doing a snap on that rather than pumping around it. And that is what allows them to generate really good scores. I think Ethan here, two things. I think he probably surfed it a little bit too much like a Snapper Rocks where he was trying to stay in the pocket and come from behind it. And the other thing, he did the classic Ethan thing, which is I'm going to sit here and not surf.
Has to scrap it. It has not worked. Look at Italo. Look at, how active he is. It really doesn't pay off.
Well,
and I mean, like when he's got priority, he kind of sits and waits a little to some degree. But underneath priority, he's just a fucking rampant rabbit just going anything.
You just want to because you could see it happening. And at about the 20-minute mark of this heat, I was just going, I already know what's going to happen here. Cal was surfing. And to Cal's credit, that was the way he was going to win this heat, was by surfing and putting Ethan in this exact position which he found himself in. And I think moving forward, other people in these events should look at this exact style of heat strategy from Cal and utilize it because it brings Ethan undone a lot. yeah, look, he sits there, and you just want to tap into his brains at some point in that first 10 minutes of the heat and just be like, dude, just surf. You're the best surfer, pretty well on the planet right now. They're going to give you a 6 if you take a slightly smaller wave.
2 turns out there, if they're well connected, it's a 6.5.
Yeah, like
Every day of the week at probably 75%.
He does not have to wait for an 8-footer.
And it was early into the round, so he didn't have many heats to watch. But a 6 and a 5 out there, fuck, fantastic. Shake hands, go in, you probably won.
Well, Cal won with 12.3. So Ethan, he did get his 6 in his 5 in the end. He had a 6.5 and a 4.97. So he gets it. But he just left himself far too much work to do at the end of the heat. And in a slow lineup like that, where waves are they're at a premium, you're not getting heaps of reps. And as that time ticks away, you end up having a look at lesser quality waves. So waves that he probably let go at the start of the heat, come the end of the heat, would have been quite handy for him. Cal, as we said before, just surfed. Ethan sat, and it was the major difference in this heat. And we do have some questions on Ethan later, which, I mean, we've probably answered, but if there's anything different, we'll get to those. Did you have anything else to add on that?
I did want to just quickly touch on Cal's timing and composure off the bottom. He holds that bottom turn rail so well, and especially at a place like Punta Roca where you can find the section presents itself quite aggressively, and then right next to it's tapering off quite a lot. And when you're committed into a bottom turn like that and you're not sure whether to just ride over the whitewash or kind of do a bit of a fade, you find yourself braking from the bottom turn to reassess. I just feel like his ability to just hold, commit to it, wait, be patient, and find the best possible spot to do the turn was textbook.
And that's what I'm referring to before with that surfing sort of in front of the wave. Like he's getting to those sections early, which is allowing him to, rather than go around them or sort of skip them, he's getting up into them, and it's working really well for him. Gets him through that. Ethan would be ruining that one because realistically, I think this is an event that he'd be going, I should be getting semi-finals here minimum each time. So, look.
I don't want to say it too early. We're only, 5 events?
Mm-hmm.
Something not clicking there.
No.
There's just, it's not a bad year. It's becoming bad years.
Well, it's like...
I don't want to say bad years because he's top 5.
He's
3 times?
Yeah, he won the 2 events ago. So you don't want to throw too much shade his way, but it's just that heat strategy that he employs, which it's when you're coming through the Subway Pro Junior at D-Bar and you're versing me first heat, that strategy works quite well because you're going to smoke me regardless. But when you got Callum Robson or someone on this tour, any one of these guys really, if they... it seems to be the most common way to beat Ethan Ewing, which is to just start surfing and make him sit, make him wait for waves. Obviously, it's not always going to go your way because he's a great surfer and eventually he's going to get the 2 best waves of the heat. But on the off chance he doesn't, you're going to beat him. So
you got to ask yourself, are the sets that are coming through there worth the wait?
No.
And Punta Roca is a bit of a gamble. It's not like a groomed J-Bay, big set coming, you go, well, fuck, it's 20 knots offshore and it's pretty mechanical. I know the kind of wave that I'm going to get. Punta Roca, and he's been there for a couple of days, he'd know that the big ones sometimes taper off. How many times did we see people do 2 turns and flick off?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you wait 20 minutes for a maybe. It's just, even a novice surfer would think that's a weird tactic, right?
Yeah. And this seems like an event where you almost, I won't say you don't want priority, but it's almost a blessing to sit underneath your opponent, sit a little bit further inside and down the line.
We'll get to it. Italo did that.
Yeah. And
flicked off a wave straight into the next one, became a score.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll leave that one there. Ethan he's too good to be putting up these performances, so hopefully he can change that.
I'm feeling for him. That would hurt, especially is now in the danger zone of looking for a backup result.
Yeah, he's rather than trying to build on his year, he's now going, I need to actually shore up my position. So round 2, heat 3, Miguel Pupo, Eli Hanneman again looked outstanding. This is the best I've actually ever seen him look on this tour, I think.
Apologise for fucking nothing.
He looks incredible, mate.
But I almost will.
Yeah.
Almost. He looked really good.
Yeah. just really holding his rail a lot better than we've probably ever given him credit for.
Yep. Yeah, it looked very similar to Cal. Just
Mhm.
locked in.
Yep.
No double take, no nothing. Just hold, and then push.
Yep.
I will say, just pick the eyes out of the lineup.
Mhm.
He found waves with remarkably no boggles, no little lumps and bumps. It looked like he could really set that rail and forget and not have to worry about it.
Yep.
Every other wave was like, oh, kind of got to nurse the bottom turn and absorb the impact if there is a little wobble.
Mhm.
His waves just looked like they were mechanical, and it just looked like he didn't have to even factor that in.
Yep.
But that's one props, but you do have to match that with great surfing. And yeah, credit where credit due, he did.
Yep. So for him, this is actually his first time out of that second round in his career, I'm pretty sure. So pretty good fashion to get the monkey off your back with 16 points, getting an 8.83, defeating, I think, world number 3, maybe, Miguel Pupo.
He's in the top 5.
He's definitely up in that sort of blockade of Brazil. He's actually second, so he's right up the top. I think it's currently 5 Brazilians filling out the top 5 now. But yeah, he really did good. So congratulations to Eli, not Ethan. Definitely not Ethan.
You'd have to think, though, if someone else was on those waves, would the turns just look a little bigger?
I don't know. I feel like you're really just nagging him a little bit, dude. He looked really good.
He did.
He looked good. And I want to give him credit there because he's only a small fella. Probably, yeah, if you get Ethan on that wave, he's about a foot taller than him. Probably his body's just going to look better on the waves. But that compressed stance he has, it probably helped him get in and out of the lip on that second turn on his 8, and that big chunky section he hit and fell and then went straight into another carve. Like, he looked really good. So I just want to give him props where credit's due, because we spent a lot of time rinsing him, and I think when they do something good, like, you can't hide behind that, you know? You got to give him some credit, so good on him.
There is credit that he obtained an excellent score without going to the air as well, because a lot of us probably would have thought that's the only way he's going to get it, especially against, like, Miggy, absolute fucking the MIG welder.
Yep, absolutely.
So powerful.
100%.
So for him to go to the rail, keep below the lip line and get an 8, it goes to show that he does have it.
Yep.
We're just not seeing it.
100%.
Not even nearly enough.
Yep. Heat for Kanawagarashi beats Alejo Muniz. Not a whole lot to talk on here. The score sheet looks relatively close. At no point did I ever fear for Kanoa in this one, though. It's 14.17 to 12.03. Just felt like Kanoa was going to win that one. And Alejo, to give him credit as well, looked really solid in the warm-up surf. There was a wave that I went, oh my God, like, I've got to put him in the highlights, really. He was that good. But yeah, Kanoa just too classy. Heat 5, Marco McNutt, as Strider called him.
Wait.
We've got a soundbite. Just Zach was very eager to show me this morning.
This was amazing. So I managed to record this. It's by our good friend Strider, and I will play it now.
Who we've never met, by the way.
Two of the best. One underdog, I'd say, and Marco McNutt and Yago.
Marco McNutt.
And even the subtitles on the webcast come up MCN, capital N, so like Mick.
Yeah.
UTT, McNutt.
Yes, beautiful.
So, yes, Marco McNutt.
That should have been our word of the day. We forgot to reference that. You might have just been sitting there looking at word of the day on top of us here. Zach, do you want to read out what that is?
Gooning.
Zach thought he'd make use of the light board behind us with some letters, so it might be something we keep up. But
it's word of the week too.
Yeah, McNutt probably should have been the word of the week.
McNutt, yep. Sounds like a coffee from Macca's with alternative milk.
Sure.
We'll get the McNutt.
Okay.
What nut do we on? Macca? Oat?
It sounds like something you'd order at Macca's.
McNutt.
The McNutt.
Speaking of gooning, McNutt. There you go. Maybe that's how we got onto it.
But yeah, beats Rio here, I believe, for the second time they had that matchup.
Yeah, that was a doozy for me, because last week I said I'm going for Leo and Rio. Wow, Barry Crocodile for Rio.
Shocker. Man,
that was bad.
His board looked really bad. I think boards. He may have even done a board swap, but he looked like he couldn't bloody set a rail on the thing. And
Maybe this time around, but I still reckon he has sold more sharp eyes than anyone.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, Philippe's would have to be right up there, you'd imagine. But he generally, his boards look incredible. This event was the first time I've looked at him and gone, they did not look good one bit. And even in the free surfs, he was falling a lot to the point that I noticed it and went, geez, Rio's not looking amazing. Probably should have mentioned that to you when you tried to pick him in your team, but maybe also good that I didn't because this might be the difference. But
it just looked like there was what would you call it? The whitewater monster underneath the wave, just grabbing the fin, grabbing the leg. It just looked like he couldn't put one foot in the right spot.
Yeah, but he fell on almost every occasion, man. And it wasn't, he is usually way too sharp to, for that to happen to him. So I think there's definitely a board-based issue, and I just don't think he maybe connected with any of his quiver. And
I think he can sometimes struggle when the wave's a little disjointed, especially coming from Indo.
But he's another one like say Eli, but like that short compressed style where usually a bit of bump won't challenge him too much, and just look terrible. You're right though, is from Indo, used to complete glassy perfection. So maybe a choppy right hand point just maybe caused him a bit of grief, but did not look good whatsoever. And I do tend to, you don't always want to blame the boards, but it didn't look good for sure. Yago Dora beats Luke Thompson. Luke had a opportunity at the death in this one to beat Yago. I think he may have got the score required if he landed his last turn. Big old lip line floater into the flats and just landed a little bit off kilter and went down, but I think it was right there for him.
Seemed to be a maneuver of the event, the old floater.
Yeah, well, it seems like maybe all you can do at times. You get that sort of slingshot into the section, and then there's no real section there. So the only thing you do is ride the lip down, and it almost feels like if you try and do a snap off it, you're going to go out the back. Probably a fairly conventional move to use, but didn't work for Lukey on that occasion. Heat 7, Sammy Pupo looked really good, 15 points against Joel Vaughan. Not much to touch on there. Sammy just looked amazing. Heat 8, Leo looked incredible. This was a battle though, and I actually thought Mateus may have got him at one stage.
I've got a big call.
What?
Do you think Mateus got a 9 and surfed it down to a 7? In that being the alley-oop?
No, I don't think so. It looked like a really tough wave to surf, bit of foam on the face. I think I don't think so. I think he did pretty good in this heat and looked quite good. I've noticed a massive improvement in his surfing this year, especially.
I just think he raced for a long time to get to that alley-oop section.
Well, you have to factor in there is 2 turns going to outscore one pretty big alley-oop.
Yep.
You reckon?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's probably going to be pretty similar.
If he landed, gone straight into maybe a 2-turn combo and then sacrificed the rest of the wave, I believe the score would have been a little larger just because it's a bit more of a full stop exclamation kind of moment.
Yep.
But it was just lingered. It just lingered all the way to the end. And then by the time you got to the end, nothing really happened. You're like, kind of forget about the air.
Yeah. There's a lot of downtime on that one. And the closeout turn was good, but it wasn't great. So you could argue he's definitely left some points on the table for sure.
I was happy with it though.
Yeah, it was
As
great.
in Leo getting the nod.
Yeah, you would be stoked. I wasn't. I was hoping that Mateus was going to... I mean, look, from Leo, I kind of... That heat there is... Don't really have too many ties to it. I just didn't want your 5x2 to get through.
That's fair.
Yeah. Italo Ferreira against Ramsey Bookayam.
It looked like Ramsey, he obviously got out of the first round. I went, oh, okay. This could be a little bit of a charge. He just falls.
Yeah.
He falls. He looks good, but falls in every heat.
Yep.
It's this weird little paradox he's got where it's like, oh, wow, he's looking really good. And then all of a sudden just slips off, falls off, loses balance. And you're like, okay, strange.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I reckon that's maybe why he took so long to qualify too, because he just doesn't have that ability to be consistent in his finishes. It's almost like he feels like unless he completely smacks the end section or the final section of the wave, that he's not going to score. And sometimes it's like just take 20-30% off it and land it, and you're going to get a decent number, mate. You're that good. You've already probably done 3 big old haymakers out the back, and you just turn where an 8 becomes, an 8-5 becomes a 6-5. He's not really thinking that, it seems, a lot of the time. And yeah, maybe just toning it back is what he needs to do because he's so impressive. We always harp on about how good his backside is, and he's right up there with the best in the world. But it just in heats, he maybe just overthinks a little bit, and I dare say that'd be a conversation that he'd have a fair bit with Dog too.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, you'd be okay if he was falling on a big backside helicopter. Fair enough, but he's falling on maneuvers that he does with his eyes closed, and it's just like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I reckon he goes in on those last waves laying down, is going, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Kind of those, those events or those heats where you just go, strategy was there, wave selection was there, but I just didn't capitalize and I fell.
Yeah, and Italo didn't look great in this heat, by the way.
That was going to be the one. Like,
Yeah.
that's the worst we've seen Italo surf all year.
Yeah.
Mind you, pretty good with 8 stitches in his fucking knee.
Yeah.
But that was the one to get him. He didn't really capitalize on anything. Didn't go to the air. Well, he did on the last wave, fell off. Didn't really have any moments of, wow, like highlight reel. That was the one to get him.
100%.
Missed it.
Completely agree. Heat 10, Crosby against Morgan. Both surfers surfing very well in this one, mind you. Crosby is just very good at this wave, it appears.
That 8 of Crosby, I thought I was watching fucking Geordie Smith.
Yeah.
Which we definitely weren't. Turns out, Geordie Smith, hip injury.
Yeah.
A niggling hip injury that he's been nursing all year, or for a while now by the sounds of it. And he couldn't nurse it any further, had to pull stumps, go get surgery. And I did hear, this is news from the Stab podcast as well, and they kind of glazed over it and they went, oh yeah, he's out and whatever, and moved on fairly quickly. Is this the end? Like, I don't know. Is any kind of hip surgery semi-invasive? Like, it's not like a little, I'm going to go in there and tighten up the tendon and snip this off and whatever. Are they? I don't know if there's a hip surgery that's like kind of mellow and you come back in 6 weeks, right?
Nah, I think there's a bit of recovery to it. Kelly, I believe, has had both hips done.
He's definitely had one, and that was last year.
Yeah, so he is someone that has retired and done it, unless he had one of them done during his career. I'm not sure, but he obviously had a few injuries at the back end of the year, and it kind of did spell the end at the back end of his career. It did sort of spell the end for Kelly there. Really had a broken foot, a few niggling back problems, I think, and it never really got any better for him. And I feel like, yeah, we maybe could see Geordie. It hasn't been his best year. He's right down on the rankings compared to last year, and maybe a case of, did you just go 1 year too far? Should he have called it at the end of last year?
He wants the 20.
Yeah.
I know that.
And who are we to say, do whatever you want to do, Geordie? Like, if you want to keep going, he's serving good enough to remain on tour, and I think he probably will. And I think any issues that he has at the back end of the year probably will result in an injury wild card for him. So I think he's earned it. He's put enough time in. He's going to be the one that gets it if needed. But
funny you say that. That was looking like the best way to requalify based on 5 events.
Yeah.
Well, 4 for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a shocker of a year.
Yep.
Almost on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost smarter for him to pull up stumps now and go for that wild card position than run the risk of coming back.
Yep.
And then look at Jack. Jack's not the same after his injury.
Yep.
And, if you look back at the last couple of events after a hip injury, I don't see him being ×2 on anyone's fantasy team, put it that way. So, it'd be interesting to see whether he pulls up stumps for the rest of the year.
It's pretty
or
smart.
if he comes back.
It's pretty smart. Like, for him going, I'm not looking pretty. Let's go and get my body right. I'll come back 100% for next year, or whether that is his plan, or whether he can come back and maybe do a few of the later events. But yeah, look, probably is his best chance to guarantee qualification for next year and come back
And get the 20 years.
Yeah, get the 20 years, have his swan song. Hopefully he has a really good year again. And yeah, look, I won't hold it against Geordie. He spent enough time on this tour to afford himself some grace, and I think let him do what he's got to do. If this, I mean, he would have wanted to go and defend his title, but if he knew he wasn't all there, then there's no point. Then flying to El Salvador and copping a first or second round exit, then
Well, allegedly he's only just able to do his heats and that's it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like quite a significant amount of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Crosby and Morgs, like what I was saying, that 8 of Crosby was fucking insane. Looked like Geordie.
Yeah, he is really good here. It's like him and his brother have such a good connection with this wave, and they both surf it really differently, but they both surf it unbelievably well. He with the surfers that are remaining, he'd be backing himself in to maybe claim his first win, on the tour. I don't believe he's had one yet. And look, he's bloody right in the mix. If you look at who's left, we got Gabby, we've got Sammy Pupo, Leo. I think they're probably the big dogs still remaining. But I think Crosby's proven himself over here the last couple of years. He's done it, and he's probably the favourite at this point.
Well, he's got the Colapinto flag to try and keep remaining.
100%.
Obviously, Big Bro's out, and he would have been a lot of people's favourite to win this thing. So
yeah,
he might be getting a little bit of juju from the brother.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other favourite that I think everyone nearly had to win the thing, which was Filipe Toledo in Heat 11 against Cali Vast. Does get beaten, not a lot in it, 14.03 to 13.87. But as we said off the top, we did feel like could be a bit of a vulnerable heat for Filipe. If he got through this one, I think it was off to the races, but he did have to get through this one. Was unable to do so. Cowley, impressive as always. Probably the first major scalp he's taken this year on the tour.
Yep.
And it was going to come at some point. We probably would have assumed at Chopu or somewhere like that, but no, he's got a back end on him that would make sort of, I don't know, Occy cry, maybe. I don't know.
I will say some people probably disagree, but I find that there's a fairly hefty unfair advantage to natural footers here. Like we were saying before, it's not one of those walls. They're out there. There's definitely big sections that you can take, don't get me wrong, but harder to find.
Yep.
And when it's not there, doing a carve down your backhand, capped at a 2.
Yes.
So hard to do anything with that maneuver. On your forehand, you can play with it. You can flick the tail. You can do so much. You can cut it short and go straight into something else. Backhand is just so fucking vanilla. So for Cowley to get the dub over Filipe on his backhand, yeah, that's tough out there.
100%. Massive victory there for him. And he's got Jiao Chanka next, which obviously Jiao progresses past George Pittar and in Heat 12, who we both did select upon review. When I was watching some clips, I was like, why am I doing that for? I fully forgot about, I don't know how I forgot about it, but George's frontside wrap that the judges just eat up. And I was going, oh no, we've had a barrier here. But no, Jiao did get through. I do think Cowley, though, will make a bit of a mess of him in the next heat, to be honest. I think he's going to progress a little bit further.
That's pretty rare for you.
I know.
Boyfriend status. Off the boyfriend. Got a new one.
Well, no, I think the way Cowley's surfing and the way Jiao is not a favourite to win this event. I think he's good enough to make a couple of heats, but I think Cowley against Jiao is a bit of a one-sided affair, if you ask me. And I think Cowley's going to probably, like I said, make a bit of a mess of him. Medina versus Moniz, just no point even talking about this one. 7 points to Medina's 15.
They both didn't look great, though.
It's pretty scary you're saying that. Medina got 15 points, but
it wasn't like highlight reel worthy.
He's different, that bloke. So yeah, and then it sets up a really nice round 3 matchup with Jack Robinson, who dispatches Cole Hauschman in the next heat. That is one that I'm really excited for, just based on the fact Jack's looked pretty poor this year, and even in that heat, the big air, which you referred to it as the biggest beginner air you've ever seen, which made me cry a little bit because I don't think I could do that if I tried. But
do you want me to elaborate on it?
Sure.
Okay. So if you're not sure what we're talking about, Jack Robbo did a really big air. There's the credit. Although it is the first air that anyone does when trying to learn airs. Indie grab, tail down, just straight up.
Yeah.
There was no tweaking out, no boning, nothing. And when you're learning airs, you often do wheelies. That was just a huge fucking wheelie. And I don't think he should be doing that at that level.
Yeah.
It needs to be boned out. It needs to have that, Noah Dean look to it, not to the aggressive, like, stab high shit, but to go up and do a big wheelie. It was big. I'll give him that. It was huge. But fuck, it was, I don't know. I think I called it the worst beginner air.
Yeah, you did. And it did hurt me a little bit because I know I couldn't do that. But he got a 7 for that. So I feel like the judges factored that in.
Honestly, you at Urban Surf with the big punt section, I reckon you've got it.
That's snap me neck. 7 points. So they factored that in. I think what you're referring to, quite a stock air for these guys. Didn't go crazy with it, but it was high. Did have a lot of amplitude and did stomp it pretty nicely. So
Did like that. It was first wave, hey?
first score, yeah, I believe it was.
First wave
actually.
of the event for him. Just
Yeah.
went, here it is.
I'll throw this
It was a
down.
big section.
It was. Yeah,
That's what I mean. It was kind of like a deflator. It was
That's the
like,
scariest thing, though. Like the section that he's hitting is probably the scariest part of that air and landing.
It's for me. The tail was so low.
I know, but
Just looks beginner.
because you're hitting that section, you're hitting a.
Doesn't matter what you're about to say. They're the best in the world.
I know, but just hear me out. So you're racing down the line and you get that one little wedgy peak up section that he lined up and he hit. But the problem there is that you're landing it down the line in a section that is completely, pretty flat. So he's coming out of he's not landing in transition and landing softly. Like it's a pretty hard air to land.
I agree with the landing. It was just that's the default learn. I was about to say learn to surf. It's not
Here we
right.
go.
It's the default air you go to when starting off.
Sure.
So it was just a bit weird to see the world's best, and especially him, really good aerialist, to go to that. It was a bit like, I truly think if he had that section again, we wouldn't see it.
No. Well, we'll see. He's got Medina, which what I was going to say before is he tends to lift for these types of heats, and it hasn't been his best year by a long shot, actually. He's been really off this year. But these are the types of heats that we see Jack come out of the woodwork a little bit and give his best surfing. And I think Medina will know this too, not to expect anyone to lie over in that one, because Jack's going to be hungry to like we said before, take a major scout like Cowley did. He hasn't really done that this year. So for him to take someone like Medina out of the event will be it'll be hot on his to-do list. So
I don't see it happening, but that's all right.
We'll revisit this because I think it's going to be a lot closer than you're imagining.
There was 2 losers in that heat though.
Go on.
Cole and JS, unfortunately. He snapped 2 boards in what felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I believe, rightfully so, that board buckled after that big air. Was a big air.
Yep.
Beginner air, but
Sure.
big air.
Yep.
It comes in. Sorry, the next wave feels that it's buckled, goes like that on the webcast, comes in, changes it. Or, sorry, someone caddying out there changes it. First wave on, 3 minutes later on the new board, buckles again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's supposedly had a bit of issues on the journey over, right?
I did hear a bit of goss. That, the journey over may have had some weight in the board bag, may have been slightly dented or creased or stress fractured or something. But anywho, JS, obviously, there's no issues there. They're fucking world-class boards.
Absolutely. Okay, and then on to Connor O'Leary against Baron Mamiya.
I don't know. Not really a showing, was it?
I don't have anything for this one. It's
Okay. No point.
yeah.
Next.
Baron, too good for our guy Connor, and this one Connor never really got started, and it resulted in a Baron Mamiya victory. Heat 16, Griffin Colapinto against Alan Cleland, the other side of my tier A, which went missing in this round. Can I just say the score that Al got, and I do think Al won the heat. He did 1 turn at the start and 1 turn at the end, and there was 3 in the middle that were not turns.
What were they? Wiggles?
Oh, they were. It's like if you just choked your way through the wave, just coughed and spluttered and found yourself at the end section and then did a nice floater. Because first turn, incredible. Good as it gets. And then, by no fault of his own, mind you, the wave didn't allow him to draw out any turns of that nature for the rest of the wave. But I thought they went pretty high for what were essentially half turns. The closeout turn was nice, but nothing major in that too. It was just a standard lip line floater. It was very much all in the first turn, which again, very good. A huge fan of that first turn, but it kind of took Griffin well and truly out of it at the end because there just was nothing there for him. There's no there was no waves that would have allowed him to get the score on. In fairness to Al, though, he had to make a heat eventually, and it had to be this one where my fantasy team was on the line, and I'm probably just a salty Griffin owner on fantasy. This
you are.
event. Yeah. But good on him. He gets through. He gets a match up with Baron Mea, who I say that I actually picked Al in my fantasy team too.
Wow.
So
Okay.
like you'd think I'd be frothing, but kind of not, because I'd much prefer that be Baron Mea against Griffin Colapinto, and then Griffin Colapinto progresses another 3 heats into the final. That would be my plan.
Yeah, well,
I don't foresee that happening here with Al. Unfortunately, he might beat Baron. I think he can beat Baron, but then he's going to quickly come up against either Medina or Robbo. Could be lights out, unfortunately.
we will see. Stranger things have happened
They
at this
have,
event, that's
and
for sure.
They already have in this event. Now, let's go to the ladies.
Tell you what's not strange.
What?
Gabby Bryan beating Yolanda Hopkins almost doubled her points.
Yeah.
Not strange.
Yeah. Was pretty happy with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For my fantasy team, given the ×2 and given your ×2 is on Tia, who isn't in the event anymore. Sawyer Lindblad gets done by Anat.
That I did kind of think they're very similar.
Backhand.
They're so like heavy foot on their backhand and throw a bunch of spray. So that was kind of like no shock there.
Backhand on backhand. No, Sawyer the better surfer of the two, but on it, like every
Just a
dog
little
has
bit
their
more
day.
refined, I think.
Yeah, every dog has their day, and that found some better waves. So good on her. Luana Silva defeats Nadia again. Not an awful lot to talk about in this one and many of these ladies' heats, but there was one that was a lot to talk about. Carissa Moore against Brissa Hennessy. Oh, I did not.
Ooh, the Airverse.
My $70 friggin' event winner, which was looking good, to be fair. I was
30 seconds left.
Oh,
Something like
God. Yeah.
Takes an absolute beater of a wave, and you're almost thinking she's just coming in. I think she thought she was just coming
She
in.
was just racing, and she just went, oh, okay, this is standing up.
Well, she did a few little wheels.
Yeah.
It was probably at a 2.5 and a 3, maybe a 3.
Mhm.
She needed a 5, mid-5.
Yep.
30 seconds to go,
Mhm.
racing down the line, kind of just cruising. At that point, you kind of thinking she stayed with it and showed interest, which, props to her for doing. She was then presented with a little section at the end, right on the rocks, through an Airverse Indie grab. Got the score, 5 point something. And I want to know your thoughts here.
My thoughts are she probably deserved the score because she's the only one in this event that's gone for anything close to that. I didn't like the air. I can do that. When I was saying before I can't do Jack's one, I can do that. I can do a better version of that.
If you want proof of this, go on our Instagram, Pubinis. Remember that one? Of course you do.
I'd say Chris's probably version's better than mine in that occasion,
Actually,
but
if I recall, I think yours is better.
I don't know. I have maybe not videographic proof, but I have done better ones than that, and you can call BS on that because there's no video, and I say fair play to you because that's true. But look,
you got to give it.
you've got to because it's something that the girls aren't doing now.
Yep.
Shinya Dalby of logo designer of our podcast fame and Stab graphic designer, a great human being, posed the question: did Carissa ride out of the final of the air?
They do usually crucify anyone
Mm.
with any doubt of
Yep.
riding out. So it is a little strange, but I feel like they just had to nod it because they want to see more of it. We have to boost up, inflate the tires, make this a highlight reel on Instagram. It could have gone either way.
Yeah, I've seen. It's as close as it gets, really. Usually, the general rule of thumb is if you have to question it, it's not a make. So if there's any question marks that they wrote out, then no. This one, she's in the foam for a while, and then nose does briefly poke out, but never really. The board's never really in front of the whitewash. But as you said, probably good for the ladies' sport that is scored. She gets a score by 0.5. So if she doesn't land it, there's no chance. And yeah, I mean, good on Carissa.
She was right on the rocks too. Like there's
Yeah.
a certain point where, and this is where I feel for the guys at Margie's.
Yep.
you're not docking them on skill. You're docking them on their ability to not lose their face on the fucking rocks.
Yeah.
It's like there's no skill in choosing not to.
100%.
Like it's just, and then you go, oh, you should have done that for. It's like, no, well, that's kind of the position that they're in.
Yeah.
I do hate it when they kind of dock you for that. That's the only time, and maybe that factored in. Not too sure.
Yeah, for sure. Molly Picklum gets rid of Sally Fitz. Betty Lou, the next of the favourite massacre.
That was I.
Caroline Marks does get through again, not looking overly convincing, but does do enough here. She just looks like she gets the wave maybe more than most. And while she's not posting 8s, she's posting 12 points and she's getting through. Betty Lou would have been at the top of a lot of people's fantasy teams. Wasn't in mine, but did not.
Was in mine.
Yeah, I didn't like not picking her because I saw her warm-up sets and they look really good. I went with Molly, who in actuality has done better, so it's a good pick by me. But yeah, Betty was scaring me, and yeah, Caroline gets the wood over her there. Lakey Peterson loses to Tyler Wright, kind of the veterans heat here. Probably on form, you'd say Lakey would win this one, but Tyler seems to be finding something. And then the standout of the round, really, Katie Simmers, who looks to be on a different wavelength to the rest of this draw, easily does Bella Kenworthy. Bella, another okay showing, 11 points, but an 8 and an 8.5 for Katie. She looks faster than the rest of the draw. She looks techier. She looks just has a little bit more spark in her surfing than everyone else in this draw. And I think she's going to, if you wanted to, I can't imagine the odds are going to be that good, but her against Tyler seems like a bit of a sure thing for me.
Seems like similar to the Alejo kind of scenario, if you ask me.
It's one of those.
I'm going to jump on and just say Katie Simmers is the best female surfer to ever walk this planet.
Okay.
I don't even feel fucking scared to say that.
Do you feel just critically here, devil's advocate? Because I probably agree with you to an extent.
You're going to have to fucking cure cancer to change my mind here.
Just feel like she lacks a little bit of spray on her turns.
Yep, but that's probably easy fix. The one thing she has that others don't is just years of agonizing pain that some never get to, even get close to obtaining.
What's that?
The flow.
Oh, pain. Did you say?
Painfully trying to get it, but never get it.
Right.
Yeah. So her flow, her bag of tricks is already much greater. Her ability above the lip with just snaps and how she can throw the tail. Like I feel like most of the crew are still trying to figure that out.
Well, you've only
if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go watch what she posted, and I think it was collabs with Rebel Surfing. It's like a carousel on her Instagram. And I was just, that's why I just came out and said that.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It goes down as far as like, she's doing rock and roll floaters. Look at the tour on the chicks. None of them do rock and roll floaters.
Yeah, she's surfing really, really maturely and with a style that, and a technique that is lacking in the rest of the tour surfers for sure. I think technique wise, it's like, what do you value more? Do you value the power of Gabby Bryan, or the tube riding of Molly Picklum, or like, where do you go from there? I think she has a real case, and I definitely think she's probably going to win this event now. Didn't pick her, so I can't say that I predicted this before the event. I think if she could just find a way to move a little bit more water, she's the full package, and I can't even argue with you on that. I think that's the one thing that's missing, but that's something I'd rather be lacking that at this stage in my career than all the other stuff that she already has.
100%.
So,
and the question I asked, if someone does say, oh, no, fuck that, you didn't think about this. If there's a movie premiere and you're paying $15 for a seat, who are you going to see?
Yeah.
It's Katie fucking Simmers every day of the week.
Yeah, out of this entire tour, it's her.
Yep.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Yeah, okay.
Should we hit some buttons? Sure. Listener cues.
Listener cues? Yeah.
Let's get into our listener cues,
Well,
unless you had anything else.
Well, I was just going to, should we go through and just predict a few? I mean, we may as well while we're here. Who do you think wins the men's and the ladies' events from here?
Pickles.
Yep.
Leo.
I'll go Katie. and I'm gonna go with you on Leo. I think he's gonna get his first win here.
If he gets over Sammy, this could be a run
I
to
think
the fucking trial on real
That's
quick.
kind of what I mean. Whoever wins this heat wins the event.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be a Crosby and whoever wins this, and I just feel like if it's Leo, he's been so close. I just don't think he can. He's had 2 or 3 finals. I think he's drawn in 2 of them.
Pipe.
Twice to Barron.
Mm.
He is due a win, and the caliber of surfer now missing from this event. There's really no better time for him to do it. I feel.
Make the pronounce on now.
Yeah.
Listener cues. You ready?
Let's go.
Should we hit some buttons now?
Sure. Oh, crickets? No, maybe not crickets. We'll go that one.
Sure.
Okay. Hit me.
Cam Hankins, thoughts on the Lob Cal heat? Now, this did involve an interference.
Mm-hmm.
I actually haven't seen it. Can you run us through it?
Yeah, so there's a reason we didn't really run through the next 3 heats of the next round. I knew that this was going to be one of the questions. So what happened was Cal in a really good position in the heat. Believe already had about 12 points on the board. Or he at least had his opening good scores about a 6 or a 6.5 or something. Lob and Cal paddling out at the same time. So Cal jumped off the ski. Lob paddled out. Now they were sort of deliberating who was going to get priority here. Set wave comes. They quickly make a decision. Cal looks in and sees that they've given blue priority, which is him. He's a little bit further out, takes off on the wave. Then Lobby looks up at the priority board to go, oh, can I burn him here? Have I got priority? And because Cal took off on the wave, the priority judge swapped priority over to Lim because he now has priority because Cal's taken off. But what?
But he's further up the point.
Well, no, because Cal had priority initially. So he's taken off, used as priority. Priority then shifts to red. And supposedly that was where the confusion came because Lob looked up, went, oh, I've got priority, I'll burn him. But Cal had already used his priority on the wave.
But Cal was up the point further.
He was up the point further, yeah. So Lob was further down and went, oh, I can go here because I've got prior. Burn him. Cal crosses paths with him. Everyone, including myself, thought Cal was going to cop it. And then it comes through Lobby, gets it, and it's just nothing you can do. Cal already had 12 points up or over 10, and you can't win from there. So
Yeah, and it's easy to throw the priority judge under the bus there, but it's kind of usually play on.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of a moment in the women's heat as well
Yeah, it was.
that we should probably...
It seems
touch on.
like I don't know if that's a normal rule because I feel like that would happen more often where you should probably leave, if that was the case and what actually happened, you should leave blue up as the priority until they've ridden the wave, you know?
Yes, correct. I was about to say it's the timing of it. So there was no procedural error. It was more a little antsy to switch it over.
I think so. And
especially on a point break. Beach break, go for it because you're inside. Like as soon as you take off, you can't drop in because they're obviously a meter into the wave.
Yeah.
Long point break, they should have had the smarts to be like, this could result in this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. On the other side of the draw, the ladies' draw, we had the interference that wasn't interference in the Molly Picklum heat against Sally, which would have broke me given Molly was in my friggin' team. If I woke up and seen that Molly had lost to Sally Fitz, it would have been all over for me.
This one seemed messy. This one kind of feels like they may have.
No, they
fucked it.
did. They did stuff up, and they acknowledged that they stuffed up, and because of that, the heat has to go again. I think they ran a complete replay of it.
Complete restart.
And it is the first time really we've seen it happen. So, I mean, if you look at statistically, it's probably pretty good odds that they've been good for a long time, but eventually it's going to happen.
Not looking good for old mate who's doing that though.
No, he's
2 in a day.
He's been taken out the back and shot. They've brought in Melvin from. He's now.
Fuck yeah, Melvin.
He's now doing the priority board because
Melvin is competitor, coach, priority judge, and board caddy.
Yeah, there you go.
And Uber driver.
So Melvin now the priority judge. So any further grievances, please DM him and tell him.
On you, Melvin.
Yeah, but just couple shockers. It's funny that it's happened in the same event.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
but we probably won't see too much of that again. Before we
Okay.
do move on, because we didn't touch on the Marco Mignot Yago Dora heat. So I stayed up last night until about 1:30 or 2 o'clock watching this one. Marco Mignot on the last wave, and
Who?
oh, McNutt, sorry.
God.
Marco McNutt gets a 667 on the first wave. Did you watch this heat? You
I was not up at 1 a.m.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to describe it to you. He takes off very disjointed wave. I will acknowledge that off the bat. 2 turns on the wave, really. 2 significant turns. One huge carve out the back, which was decent, and then a lot
his
of down.
last wave, 50 seconds to go.
No, the first wave he caught in the heat.
Sorry.
One very big turn, a lot of downtime, and then found pretty much a lob section, which he got folded on, but went up and over it and rode
Oh, I
out.
did see that. Yeah.
So-
Fucked up. Real big lip line.
Psycho.
Yeah.
667. Yago got an 8 2 waves later, or 3 waves later, whatever it was, it's probably the softest World Tour 8 I've nearly ever seen. It was for Yago and probably most of the back ends on tour, kind of like a half-ish turn, little carve down. Then did connect better on the second turn, and then went up into the third turn, did hit it a lot more critically, but I just feel like they went way too high considering the risk that Marco put into his turn compared to the risk that went into Yago's turn. Anyone of reasonable quality on a wave of that size, surfing quality, could do a turn, maybe not to the same standard, but similar to that. It was very much up into the lip, get there a little bit early, turn your board back down. It's more of a directional change. Didn't throw heaps of water for his standards. Rode down with it, kind of perfectly timed. Don't get me wrong, but a much safer option than what Marco went for. And I think there was way too much of a spread there between those 2 scores, meaning that at the end of the heat, Marco needed a bigger score than he did. And I'm really glad when he got it because it was right there. It actually felt, I remember saying to myself, that feels like a 617, which is what he needed. It was either going to be a 6 or it was going to be didn't feel like it was going to go as high as a 6.5. So I wouldn't have got it. And I just the way these scores average out, it kind of had to be a 617 for him to get the score. And sure enough, he got it. And I'm just glad because I feel like the spread, I'm not suggesting Marco was underscored, but I think they should have maybe made him a bit closer because there's so much.
So you're saying they corrected in the end?
Not corrected because I feel like the score was right there, but I just don't think he should have needed as big a score. I think it should have been, there just was the level of difficulty and risk between the 2 and closeout turns. Admittedly, again, disjointed. So Marco's, the flow's important, but I think the scores should have been very similar. There shouldn't have been a 1.5 in it. But that's my take there. It could be dumb, but that's how I feel. More questions.
We definitely need to talk about the Jack Robo incident. I don't know why we left it to the end.
Okay,
In the notes, it was meant to be at the front.
3 surfers on wave. 1 surfer very deep. That surfer does not care. He straightens out. Second surfer kicks board at Jack's head. Third surfer is Jack, who gets board kicked at head. As far as I'm concerned, middle surfer comes off worst out of that exchange. Looks like an idiot. Jack comes off second best. The best one is the guy on the inside, but he had to straighten out. So that's where I sit on that. Do you feel any differently?
There's a lot to kind of break down out of it. Few things. Wow, we forgot so many things off the front. We were going to do unpopular opinions, and this is mine.
All right.
If you're going to participate in localism of any kind, which this was a localism event, like flicking. Are you taking a photo of yourself?
I remember the gooning one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry. And if you're going to participate in localism, you have to be at a certain level ability surfer. I don't care if you've lived there for 100 fucking years. If you're shit, you don't get to play that card.
No.
That's where my unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, he was not a good enough surfer to pull the localism card and send him in. That's the wild part for me. He got sent in
On, I believe, Jack's surfboard that he'd left 2 years before is
Was it?
Erica. I'm pretty certain it was. Yeah, I saw a
Holy
few
shit.
comments.
That would have got passed around though. Like it probably would have been purchased, given to
Yeah,
old mate,
yeah.
whatever. So first of all, he shouldn't have done that. Second of all, Jack, probably just why engage in that? It was a messy scenario anyway. Like, doesn't really
Yeah.
make sense to three's a crowd. Let those two fucking deal with it. I don't know.
Well, I think Jack kind of was forced into it. I think old mate kind of pursued him after the drop in and sent him in, which Jack.
No, I'm saying why did Jack drop it in the first place? There's two people on a wave already.
I can see it makes it better for Jack that there's a third person because
100%.
if he's cooking, like I know
The cook's
for
getting
me,
cooked.
Yeah, like if I see someone's burnt someone and they're deep, like that's almost like playing because you burnt him, so like that means I can burn you now.
Valid point. Definitely valid point. Although, like, another thing that where I'm trying to, I see both sides. One thing is the WSL this year, first year to my knowledge, has the permits to close the beaches like an event day the day before and do practice runs.
Yeah.
So to say that they're practicing, yeah, kinda, but they have a whole day to themselves uninterrupted.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a whole day, but they definitely get a warm up session.
Yeah.
So that part's kind of like that might have been the day before that. I don't know, but seemed a little strange. Although no one deserves a fucking fin to the head.
No,
For that, definitely not.
no. That's what I mean when I said old mate the middle comes off as the worst quite by far here.
Yes.
And it actually, the third surfer in the equation makes Jack's cause a lot better too.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Next question. What have we got? A lot of Jack Robbo ones getting sent in. Obviously, we're not going to go through all of them. They're all very similar. Thoughts on the Lob Cal heat? Been through that. Is Ethan inconsistent or is it hard to make heats? Jai Sen.
Well, it's always hard to make heats.
Oh, sorry. Is it that hard to make heats? It's
that hard.
It's incredibly difficult to make heats on this tour, but at Ethan's level, he's making it a lot harder than I think it should be for him.
There's a problem that needs to be solved in the Ethan camp. Don't know what it is. Well, I have my theories and whatnot, but yeah, it needs to be resolved.
Tommy Oxland, thoughts on this year's wildcards and every event getting knocked out so early? Just is what it is. I think they're just not tour.
Same as the question before. It's just that hard.
Yeah, they're just not tour ready. A lot
They're
of
a
them.
wild card for a reason. They haven't qualified for the tour.
Yeah. It's not like a Cowley Vast at Chopes anymore, which he's full time now, so he's not going to have to worry about that. But like that's where it gets dangerous. These events, not so much.
Except for the Aussie legs. Aussies can do it.
Yeah. Sam Littlechild is a pro judge getting the sack mid contest. I think he's already been shot.
Indubitably.
Flynn O'Connor, I would have guessed no one right in the bracket. No one got it right in the bracket challenge. Why did we lose all the faves in El Sal? The bracket challenge, not something I want to even engage with because it looks. Can I just say, if I've got the bracket challenge, like I would be sick to my stomach because that would pay an ungodly amount on sports bet off like just a $1 bet. If you just if you picked all of the heats in round one and put $1 on it, it'd pay stupid. So if I got
I'm looking at the camera right now. If you picked all the heats in the bracket challenge, you're a fucking time traveler.
Yeah, it's not
Tell us
possible.
what it's like in 2030.
H_H Void. Do you think pre-event clips affect scoring?
No.
Not so
It
much.
affects who you pick.
Yeah, definitely
Most
does.
definitely.
Yeah, it definitely does. Jay Clive, talk about priority scene. Yeah, done that. Can Ethan only do it in perfect clean waves, or is the lack of waves letting him down? Which is kind of what we touched on before.
I think there's external factors at play there.
Yeah, and it is lack of he just needs to surf. Just surf,
Just
and
surf.
you'll make heats.
Yeah.
What does Katie need to do to perform like she did against Bella 100% of the time? That's a good point. She has had a slow year. I think the waves really suit her here. Yeah, don't know. Whatever board she's riding, take that to the rest of the performance waves.
Copy and paste
looks
what
pretty
she
good.
did in that clip on Instagram. Jonathan_Caddy.
Yep.
I like asking surfers what tour spot they think they do best at. Curious for yours.
I know where yours would be.
I don't think you. Oh, hit me. Sakurama.
Yeah, I was going to say, just trying to think of like the lamest wave.
I would never want to go there.
No, yours would be, you could do a bit of damage at Chopes, I think, given you've been there.
I feel like you just threw me into like a big wave guy category. I'm definitely not.
No, but you're not
I'd
afraid.
put myself at like medium rare for big waves.
No, but where you do best at, I think you could make some heats there.
Are you saying I can't do a turn?
No, but I'm saying like you could definitely.
Clip that up.
It's scary. It's a scary wave, and it's like if he asked me this question, that's an event I wouldn't rock up to. I'd be sick on that one. I'd say I'm ill.
I reckon sorry, and my go for you? I'm
Sure.
guessing?
You can give me like friggin' Newcastle Beachy or something.
Nah, you'd be snapper.
Can I just say there's a caveat to my one. So I think I feel like at if it was like small backdoor, I could make a few heats, but as soon as it gets above 6 foot, I'm tapping out. I'm not paddling out for my heat.
Usually doesn't run under 6 foot.
No, but like you've had, and they've had really fun years where like,
Gotcha.
Kanoa's made the final that year and it was like sick backdoor. Like that's my best shot at beating anyone on the tour is if I could go out and luck into a few.
Gotcha.
heats.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of waves that I'd feel comfortable at rocking up to surf a heat, it'd be any of the right points, bells or snapper, but I can't imagine I'd be going too well. Could maybe get a couple 4s or 5s if I was lucky, but that might be asking a lot too.
I'd probably have to say I'm the same. I'd rather go to pipe than
Well,
chopes.
the question is where could you go best at? And like my best bet is rocking up and finding a couple peaks that,
So we do best at just surviving the drop.
Yeah,
and go to the channel.
just like being hopefully in a good spot that you can go in.
I know what you mean. Like you wouldn't put us on a high performance wave.
Not against,
if we got a wild card into any of these things.
not against these guys, no way. They're just too good. And yeah, like I've surfed heats at Snapper before through the Usher Cup. Amazing. And I'd love, like, that's a place I'd rock up to and be really not intimidated in any way to go and try and put a heat together. But I just know how good everyone is. So I'm probably not going to progress at all.
Fair.
Yeah.
Another question for you.
I don't understand this one.
Question for Finley. This is by Will Enders.
Yeah.
Will Enders.
I don't get it.
Are you traveling with a second toothbrush for you know what?
What does that mean?
I'm guessing if it's an electric toothbrush,
Oh,
maybe.
right.
That's where I'm.
That's not very nice. No, I won't
Little
be.
airport security hack that one.
What?
My bag's vibrating. What's in your bag? Oh, it's just my toothbrush.
Right.
Don't worry,
If
I work
you-
at an airport, mate, and a vibrating bag means big dilly.
Adam Hill. This is more Ethan. Let's not go into the many more Ethan Ewing questions. I feel like he's had his abuse from us today. Dill Stubbs. Surely Lob and Cal is a resurf. In the vid WSL posted, even Renato didn't know what was going on, which is
Fair call.
didn't see that, but sure. If they
Fair
resurf
call.
the other heat, if you stuff it up that bad, like if it is a stuff up, I think it's not on the surface, it's on the people doing their jobs. It should be doing them a bit better. And I think this could be a massive turning point for both of these guys in the year, especially, well, for Lob now, has the third place at Snapper, but as we know, not guaranteed to get you on for next year. Cal now into the quarters, which is great for him. So I'm pretty frothing for him that he's made a heat here, or a couple of heats even. But look, I'm a little bit if it was a stuff up, then resurf it.
I feel like I was saying before, there was no procedural error, but perhaps just a timing error. So maybe they went, fuck it. Like it's within the rule book.
Yeah. Archie Harrow, what are the chances Cal qualifies next year? Well, they just got a whole lot better from this event.
Yes, sir, they did.
Um,
Jack's Air overscored as fuck. Strongly disagree, Archie Harrow. Sorry to deflate those.
well, you
wheels.
thought the score was good for the beginner air that he did?
Yep.
Sure. Just a lot of people complaining about fantasy.
Yeah, my fantasy is fucked. Yep, me too.
Why,
Anyway.
Simon from the Daily Grind, why is El Salvador synonymous with interferences?
Yeah, it has had a couple.
Had a couple. We had, like we touched on last week, we had the Kanoa and Griffin, maybe? It was Kanoa's Jiao. No. There's been a few. Jiao and Griffin had one.
Kanoa took off after the hooter without priority and burnt someone.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the distance out, but they're pretty close in. Like, it's not like they're ages away.
No, I think it's just because we've got heightened senses for this event, perhaps.
Because friggin' Melvin's been doing the priority disc.
Yeah,
That's
Melbourne.
why.
Fucking Melbourne.
of people. Yeah, Hot Leather's hanging up the fantasy boots. He's not doing anymore.
I will say, like,
Everyone's sucking, so don't panic.
yeah, although this one definitely shows that WSL should just go back to picking 4 in Tier B. It's just fucked.
Yeah,
It's somewhat unenjoyable when you can't pick 2 out of how many are in there? Like 12?
Yeah.
Fucking pretty hard.
They need the 4. They need the 4 option for Tier B again.
Bit of a buffer. Keeps you engaged longer. Like, I was tapped out at day 1. I'm like, all right, well, what's the fucking point of looking on fantasy? It's fucked.
Calvin Greeley wants to know how he can get out of doing a fantasy punishment. I'm assuming they have a league of their own. Calvin, speaking from experience, there is no way out of it. You have to do it.
I know, he said how to get out of a punishment. So I'm thinking he's thinking, how do we get out?
No, I reckon he's in a league and he's probably looking like he's going to lose. That's how I read that. Maybe
Okay,
they do. I know Owen Kilby is in a group, and maybe the same group, doing punishments also.
Okay, gotcha. Well, as someone who has lost a lot, Calvin, buckle up, kid. That's all I'm gonna say. Chris Bennett's, is Eli Hanna a midget, or were those waves really big? Those waves were really big, but both factual.
Yeah. Mackay Castle, Philippe versus Vast Heat. What made the difference in the fraction of scores? I think like the backside approach of Cowley, just given how difficult, as Zach mentioned earlier, it is to surf when you do square up and you fit into like 3 really good turns. The judges have to reward it. I think Philippe maybe gets compared to his own surfing over the last few years and can be a detriment to him sometimes. Although I didn't have any issues with the final result. I think Cowley deserved to win that one. Philippe, he's just set such a high bar for himself, and if he's not surfing up to that bar, while say if I don't know, George Pitar or freaking Jiaochenko, I don't know, just looking at the heat draw here, if they went out and did that same surfing, they might get a higher score, but it's just he's been so good for so long that if he's slightly off, then it's no good for him. Pretty much it. There's one more here from Sam Littlechild again. 7 guys out of the 12 outside of the cut liner from the tour last year. Pretty crazy stat. It's a crazy stat. So what that means is, it means there's 5 people there that are from the Challenger Series, but 5 people that are inside from the Challenger Series. So that's probably pretty good odds, really, for in terms of rookies staying on. Although that will fluctuate throughout the year. I'm not pulling anchor at midway through the year. There's still a long tour to go, and the events that are remaining are they are challenging. So we'll see.
Last one from me, Max Anderson. Do you think it's the end of Geordie? It's the end of Geordie for 2026, if you ask me. We will see him pending anyone else gets injured this year.
Yep.
But I dare say it's going to go to him for 2027 season wildcard. And then we're going to have a big old fucking party at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He's going to get his 20. He's going to be done.
Yeah, for sure.
December 2027. Book a place in Hawaii if you want to party with George.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we've got for you. We will be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, your time, next week.
Sure.
With the final recap. I feel like we're going to... The conditions, as we said last week with the forecast, it was meant to be big and onshore, which did come, but it was actually quite pumping last night until that wind did come. Looks like that may stick in, but the forecast for this region is so unpredictable. So you may wake up tonight or you may start up tonight and it might be cooking again. So we won't put a time limit on it, but just know next week we'll have the remainder of this event. And there's not long to go until Rio. So it's probably a good thing we got through this or a lot of this event already, because we'll have a bit more time to talk about Rio next week.
Sure. And jump on the website. Get onto our website and grab some merch.
But thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Adios.
Bye-bye.